So initially my thought when I'm playing against a Yamato is they're going to want to attack quick, attack early, get you down to 3 health as quick as possible to use the extra effect of the Don. So my opening hand, I'm kind of hoping for a nice early blocker, counter, because the longer the game goes on, obviously the better it is for me. And Josh is my opponent, and he's a competent player. And I haven't played against this Yamato deck with a Boa deck before, so I did end up, finding a blocker early on, which you'll see when I play. And so my main idea is just to survive for the first couple of turns, and then when I survive his swarm, just win the game in the high end at the end, and let's just see how the game turns out. So I play Perona, essentially just organizing my deck as one does. Very strong card, staple pretty much in majority of blue decks, and it will allow me to set up my plans going forward, pass on the turn, knowing that he obviously wants me to get down to 3 health as quick as possible. He's probably going to want to attack this turn, so now that it's my turn, my idea is then just get a blocker on board, because he's definitely going to want to swing into me. So that's what I do. I unfortunately do not own any Kaias, so essentially what I use Nuual to do the same kind of effect, but as be a blocker at the same time. It allows you to draw 2 cards and then trash 2 cards. So it's a good way to cycle my hand. Obviously Kaya would be ideal, but eventually when I complete the fully worked Boa deck, I'll be able to get some Kayas in. So essentially now I pass a turn. Nobody's going to want to do. He's going to want to swing into me, take my life as quick as possible, but thankfully I have a blocker up. So he plays a Nekamushi. For those who are familiar with that card, it's a good starting card for him. So he swings into life. I unfortunately do not want to give him any cards, so I'll give him my blocker. Let's pass the turn. Me on 5 Don now, essentially knowing that he's got 2 presents on board, so I think I'll maybe want to start whittling his hand down, put some pressure on him, and obviously getting that Nekamushi off board as quick as possible. Maybe bouncing the Perona back to my hand is essentially my idea here. Get some more counter in so I can bounce out of his next attack, and then I end up playing. Okay, so I end up playing Jimbei to Dofi. We all know that standard procedure move. I did at the time have a law in my hand, and I was considering bouncing the Perona to bounce the Nekamushi, but I decided to go with the defensive approach just to block the double attack. Obviously, looking back at it now and to see the coming turns, probably was best actually just to bounce the Perona and then the Nekamushi. You will see why now, but I mean it's still a very, very powerful move for 4 Don. You get establishing 2 cards on the board. Dofi allows you to rearrange your deck as well, and then you feel a little bit safe with a blocker. But unfortunately, I should have remembered the Nekamushi card that allows you to rest characters when you attach Don to it. So he essentially just rests my Dofi, and I should have bounced him back, but now I've realized how the mistake was made. So there we go, and then he swings into life with a lot. So he swings 9k. I take the health. It's 2 of them, so I'm down to 3 just like that. Bang bang. See you next week. Passes the turn. Now I'm like, okay, well, I need to establish some presence here. I need to get rid of that Nekamushi for the blocking, resting of characters, and I need to put some pressure on his health, because if I don't, he's just going to continue to freely swing into me, and not too be worried about a time race at this point. So, and I mean, if you're gonna get into a battle with Yamato in terms of allowing her just to keep hitting you, you're gonna struggle, because the whole thing is she's a glass cannon, and so I need to get some control back. So first I swing into Yamato. He gives me a K. So at the moment now I'm just trying to whittle his hand down, let me give him some cards. He decides to take a life. So I play back down a blocker, and obviously knowing that he has a Nekomushi in play, I'm going to bounce it back to his hand, because obviously I don't want him to be swinging it with 2 Don. So I believe the next card I play is a Law, and then by that I obviously recoup a card into my hand, since I'm playing 2 down now in the Dofi and in the Law. So bouncing the Perona back and then bouncing his Nekomushi back to him won't allow him to rest Dofi next turn, so hopefully avoid that double attack. I believe that was the play. Yep, I played a Law, bounce the Perona, bounce the Nekomushi, and I do realize half of this is now on the side of the screen, but I mean, we're doing our best here with what we have. So I'll pass the turn. He should be on 8 Don now. Gauging at the moment is I'm down to 3 health. He's down to 3 health. If I can just get a little bit of control now, which I'm trying to do with the Law, which is an absolutely disgusting card. It can be used for aggression, it can be used for control, it can be used for resource. It's just an overall powerhouse of a card. So he puts his Nekomushi back down. I expected that, of course. I mean, it's a play he makes. I didn't expect this one though. He just kept buffing up his characters with spell cards or event cards. Sorry, and I understand. So that event card increases and rests at the same time. So I'm like, okay, well, we're in for a world of hurt here. But the turn before that, on the Dofi, when I was rearranging, I made sure I had a lot of counter in my hand. I kind of actually prioritized counter more than anything, and so I was actually just withdrawing counter the whole time off leader ability and off organizing with Perona and my 2 Dofis, because I know what's coming. So I actually ended up picking up 3 2Ks in a row on my last 3 turns, and that's helped a lot to get out of that attack, because losing 2 out the game would have been quite a damaging start to the game. Now looking at 9 Don, I can start asserting myself. I know that he's got a limited amount of cards in hand in terms of counter and what he can do, and I know for a fact that I'm not going to be swinging into that Nekomushi, because it's just a waste of a swing. On the way Boa plays, Boa controls the board by removal, normally removal to hand, unless there's a certain card like Gravity Blade removes to a deck. But I know that I'm going to not be wanting to waste my attacks, because like I said, Yamato is a glass cannon, and if you just keep chipping away 5k swings, it's not much you can do really. I attach 2 Don to Law, swinging. Obviously bear in mind I have 9 Don now, so I have some Don to play with. Here's a trigger in life. The trigger is to play down the little tiger from Zhao, can't remember his name. So now he's got the Wano characters in play, both cat, the tiger and doggy dog. Sakazuka Nanyo. So I swung 5 into life with Boa. So at the moment, I mean, I like to always, unless it's dependent really, I like to always get my swings out first before I play cards, because for me it's essentially a smarter way of doing things in case of any triggers, whatever, what I play. So then I kind of know what my next move is. If I hit a trigger, I have still some Don to save myself. So essentially that's the idea behind it. It doesn't always work out like that. Sometimes there's certain event cards I could just remove regardless. So now I end up playing, I believe I was on 10 don or 9 don. I can't really see, but I think I played a boa. So wait, there was 2 don, if I was on 10 don, I definitely played the boa. What did I play then? I can't obviously see, but I'm pretty sure it was the boa. So if I was on 10 don, I'm playing the boa. Did I miss a turn? Yeah. Okay, I played a Jozu because that's the only way I could be bouncing that. So I played a Jozu. Wouldn't have been able to. 2 2s, so it's 4. I didn't swing if I had a 9 don, because he should be on 10 don now. Let me just see. I mean, essentially, I would like to have seen half the other board, but you know, we do what we can. Yeah, it looks like he has all his 10 don up, so I mean, surely, okay, he plays a Hardy Jones. Hardy Jones allows me, so it's a Trafalgar Law. What is that? Yeah, Trafalgar Law, that's why I could bounce his Nekamishi. So Hardy Jones is allowing him to take a life, rest the character, and then obviously he uses his Electric Luna to all my characters that are rested now are frozen. So essentially what his play is, he's going for broke. He's going to use that so he knows he can survive a turn, just completely ignore my board now and just swing. So that's his game plan. His MO is to hit me quick, hit me fast, and not allow my characters to reactivate. And by doing so, he pretty much nullifies my board. So good news is I know that the fact that I'll be playing a boa next, which means I'll be freezing that Hardy Jones, because he's definitely swinging into me. I'll take that life. I counter out Yamato's double attack, obviously, and then he passes his turn. So now I'm just reorganizing the board just to get my Don back, but I cannot, however, swing with any of those characters. So all of them stay rested, including my Dofi. But now I'm on 10 Don, and I feel like we can cook a bit. If I remember my hand clearly, I remember my hand. Basically, I know I had a Gangnam Rain, I had a 2K, I had 1K, I had obviously the Perona, and then I had a Boa. Boa will come in very clutch for this game mode because, you know, basically you can just put that on the field, then his Hardy Jones cannot attack, and basically buys you an extra chance to survive for the next turn, because he just wants to swing in. So I've decided now just going for the kill. Can't do much but attach 4, get him down to, he's on his last life, so you'll have to take it. So now he's on 0. Of course, he activates a trigger, which is I think it's a Lasanji blocker. I said, well, like standard procedure for him. So then I play down my Boa and freeze his Hardy Jones. It does reactivate. It does go back to active from rested, but it does not. You can't swing with it. So he's now on 10 Don. I'm on 2 health. I know that he more than likely will have another rush character, because that's what happens pretty much with green. And didn't expect. Well, I'm hoping that he has 2 attacks left. I'm kind of gauging for that. I couldn't put a block down, nothing in my hand. So my idea is just to survive in terms of counter, and I was holding on to the Gangnam Rain for a specific time. So right now I'm noticing that obviously with that Onami gives banish. So basically what he wants to do is he wants to just stop me from getting cards from life, so therefore I can't counter out. It's a peculiar position, because if my board wasn't frozen in the previous turn, I would have been easily game over. But now he's in a state where he can actually win the game. So we just have to see what he does. I didn't expect the amount of event cards in his hand that he has, but now watching back, I can see that he drew into a lot of event cards. But he played the Onami, gave banish to his leader, which means now once she attacks on double attack, none of those cards come into my hand. And at this moment I'm calculating what is the damage going to be coming in here. Can I get out of it? Can I not get out of it? So he pretty much used up 5 Don, given his leader banish, put 2 onto the Sanju. So I know that's a 7k attack coming in. Didn't see this one coming. It was an event card that just spoofs up his leader by 3k for 2 Don. Then he plays in another event card to buff up it again, and then he touches a Don on. So now he's swinging into me for 10k, knowing that I will be unable to really counter out of this, because it's a big swing. I believe it was 3k, so that's so that was I'm busy asking him now, so who do you put the buff on? So he ended up wanting to swing 10 and 11. But in my hand, I have the counter. I'm thinking I have the counter to get out of the first attack. But do I have enough to get out the first attack, and I have enough to get out the second attack? But what I decided to do was allow him to think that I couldn't get out the first attack, because in my hand you will see now what I have. But I baited him into wanting to swing with his blocker, so I can guarantee the win. Because then without a blocker, I can just swing into life for free. And so he's swinging in with 10 and 11. So I'm like, okay, I've taken a 2, but it goes straight to trash. So he's like, okay, I've definitely won. So he swings in with 11. And then I'm like, okay, well, now I can counter out. So I counter out with my Gungam Rain, which moved me up to 8k. Then I had a 2Ks, which made me go to 12k to count it out. So there he's reading the card, didn't expect that. And then I basically just baited him into using his blocker, and then you'll see now I've obviously all my attacks on. Basically just take my 10 Don, attaching it to my 8k boa, just swinging into life.